Hey, welcome to Cupid. Hey, today I'm gonna be playing a game. This is called Cupid, a visual novel. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. There's no need to explain. It's only natural. A mother loves her daughter more than anything else in the world. He hates you, doesn't he? The whole lot of them despise you, don't they? Chasing you into the forest and gouging a hole into your leg? The fuck is going on? All because you smiled at their husbands. And you know what? You deserve it. You freak. You disgusting, horrible, filthy little girl. Didn't I tell you to stay away from them? You never listen. Serves you right for being the little slut you are. This game has no chill. But you don't have to worry, my darling. It's alright. Even if the whole world wishes you dead, I promise you this. Your mother will always be by your side. Okay, that was something. My goodness, child. Whatever has happened to you? That's the priest's voice, obviously. A girl was slumped in the doorway, soaked by the rain. Her legs were covered in dirt and blood. She lifted her head upon hearing the priest's voice and stared at him with blank eyes. Bless me, father, for I have sinned. She hobbled forwards, her bloodied leg giving way. Automatically, the priest rushed forward to steady her. Years of spiritual training had prepared him for the most unexpected guest to his church. He sprung into action. He ushered her to a pew, brought out some clean cloth and antiseptic, and began to bandage the wound on her leg. Yet throughout all this, he found that he couldn't take his eyes off her. Ooh. See what the game's called? Cupid. He would be gazing at the roll of bandages in his hand, deciding how to tie them, and then out of nowhere, he would be staring into her eyes. Even with all the mud and grime smeared across her face, he couldn't deny she was absolutely beautiful. How old was she? 20? 18? 16? Her face was so young. The priest had long since aged past his desire for the opposite sex, but somehow, something about her enraptured him. When he realized his own thoughts, he quickly steered his mind towards other matters. My child, what happened to you? She seemed to take all the time in the world before responding. He looked at me. Looked? He looked at me, and he touched me, and then he started to kiss me. At first, the priest didn't understand. Then he realized, with a jolt of anger, what she meant. It was happening more and more often nowadays. The young men of France these days were spirited, uncontrollable ruffians. A lady walking home by herself one night would be prey to a few number of them. Lust. One of the 7 deadly sins. The one that the priest personally despised the most. 7 Deadly Sins is a good anime. Furrowing his brow in sorrow, the priest laid a hand on her thigh. You are safe now, child. God's house is sanctuary for the faithful. I don't think he'll protect me. He looked at her in confusion. You see, father, I have sinned again. Right there among the pews, before the altar of God, she bowed her head. I'm sorry. Was she apologizing to him? Or to someone else? Her hair hid her face and her eyes, and the priest could make neither head nor tail of her. He suddenly realized that his hand was still on her thigh, and he hurriedly drew it away. Okay. I'm sorry. She repeated the phrase over and over. After a while, the priest got up. Don't fret, child. You are not to blame. I'll contact the local constable, but in the meantime, you are free to make yourself at home here. I'll fetch you a hot drink. He patted her hand and then let go to the back room. She remained seated on the pew, her head bent forward. As the priest's footsteps faded away, the entire church fell into silence. Now that it was the dead of night, the clouds covered the sky. Barely a sliver of moonlight filtered through the stained glass. The girl sat alone in a ring of darkness. She opened her mouth. No, I know. If I may say my piece, surely. Yes, yes, mother. But he is so very kind. Having... Oh, what the... Haven't you learned your lesson yet? I fear for your safety. Oh, I can pick. Oh. You truly are an idiot. Haven't you learned your lesson? You are injured because of your own doing. And you dare tempt fate again? I'm sorry, mother. I just thought it better to eat and sleep first before I left. Please don't be angry. And stop your disobedience. I only want you to be safe, dearest. I'll pick that one. I only want what is best for you, child. Do you believe that? Yes. You saw the way the priest looked at you, didn't you? And still you insist on staying? Where is your head? So follow my words, that is final. Flee and never look back. Yes, mother. I understand. I shall leave at once. How am I going to mind you like this? You track so much fortune everywhere you go. This is all your fault. My poor child. My poor child. My stupid little girl. Always a blight, aren't you? Whatever will you do without me? I'm sorry, mother. Thank you for always guiding me. It's all my fault. The girl sat in silence. Mother was right. After all, she was always right. Everything was her fault. Her fist shook with a mixture of fear and conviction. She had to do penance. Mother, give me strength. There is something I wish to do. The girl rose from the pew. In front of her was the altar, and on top of the altar was an ornamentally decorated cross. It was as wide as her head, and the tip of the cross had been crafted such that it was razor sharp. She left the pew, knelt briefly, and then walked over to the altar. Don't tell me. You're quite sure you're doing this? The girl's arm trembled ever so slightly. What other way is there for me to atone? She picked up the cross. Oh, my darling daughter. Mother is proud of you. Slowly she brought the sharp end close to her face, so close that it hovered just above her left eye. And then she... What the fuck am I playing? What? Was that... What? Ah, fuck that. Yeah, I think that was something. I don't know how gameplay's gonna do on this channel, just leave a comment or something, but yeah, I'm definitely done with this game. Thanks for watching, I guess.